The Meaning of Life, Part 2. If you haven't checked out our first part in this two-part series, I'd advise you to go back and do so. In it, you'll find out and we'll discuss the reason for our existence, the reason for everything's existence. What is our purpose? Here in this second part of the two-part series, I would like to look at how to put this overall purpose we discussed in the first part, how to put this purpose into play. How do we live this out in our day-to-day lives? If you don't know what that purpose is, again, go back and check out part 1 and then come back and listen to this. Ecclesiastes chapter 12 is where we'll find the answer to how to play out our purpose in our day-to-day lives. Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse number 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep His commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. For God shall bring every work into judgment with every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil. We find this goes against the grain of today's teaching in our modern society. The ideology that we have in our modern times is that the further out you can go from all standards, the better off you are. The more rules you break, the more fun you have. But the Bible in this chapter, in these two verses, tells us that is not the case. Our duty is not to see how far away from the standards we can go and to see how far away from God we can get, but it is to fear God and keep His commandments. You say, well, that was back in Bible times. Whoever wrote this didn't know what he was talking about. He hadn't really had fun, obviously. Well, I'd advise you to go back and read the book of Ecclesiastes before you make that judgment. You'll find out that statement is a very incorrect one. We find that Solomon spends the book of Ecclesiastes telling us about his escapades trying to find out meaning of life in different areas. He tried the area of sexual pleasure. He tried alcohol. He tried mirth, fun, laughter, the whole party life, I guess you could say, just having a good time. He tried that. He tried it all. But he come to the end of this book and told us, I'm going to bring this all down to one point. He says, I've tried it all, and I found out this. Fearing God, keeping His commandments is our duty. No matter how much it goes against the grain of today's society, the Bible is still right. Going against God, not keeping His commandments, may be fun for just a little while, but it will lead you down a path that you will not want to go down in the end. It will bring you somewhere you don't want to be, and it will end you up in eternal separation from God. If that's what you choose in this life, that's what He'll give you for eternity, and that is eternal separation from Him. We find someone who lives their life apart from this verse, fearing God and keeping His commandments, will never live life to their fullest. And we find that someone who does fear God and keep His commandments can lay down their head on their deathbed whenever that time may come and know that they have lived a good life, that they've fought a good fight and kept the faith. I advise you, do not spend your lifetime purposeless. Go back and look at part 1 and find out our overall meaning. And then apply this part 2, to yourself to know how to live out the part 1. And in doing so, you will have the best life you can live and the most fulfilled life that you or anybody can have.